Caprice, who's going to share with us about this wonderful, beautiful tower that has taken away my brown thumb and replaced it with the green thumb. And I get credit for that. That's actually my tower garden, by the way. Oh, I can't take credit for it, but I will. Anyways, why not? This morning, I almost forgot because I went out to make this smoothie for the kids. And I'm like, hello, Kel. And I took a couple pieces off, and I'm like, oh, I should have not done that because I forgot we were bringing it this morning. But anyways, we just go out there and pick off the pieces, but more come. And Sheridan, my little one, who is not a kale eater, she's cute. She's like gotten into like the little baby kale leaves because they're really soft. And she'll go out there and pick the little baby kale leaves off and eat it. It's so cute. So we've been having fun because we just planted this garden. Caprice and Gina came out and were so kind to help me because whatever. But anyways, we won't go into that. It's another story. But so we planted these things, and these were teeny tiny little creatures, and they're just, we go out there and watch them grow. And it's, you know, one of the things that that Meg showed us this last year was about the wonder, the kids in the wonder. Now in the dirt it's great. This is another way, you know, it's another way. And so it is wonderful to see, like these things were like teeny tiny, and just watching them like grow. It's exciting. Anyways, go ahead, Caprice.
Okay, great.
All right.
Yeah, this is an amazing thing because it does. I had a brown thumb, probably a black.
First started, and now I feel like I'm a master gardener. I have 3 of these, and it's over. You can put extensions, so one of mine's taller. So just in an area that's probably not much bigger than this part of the table, I've got like 60 plants. Wow. So it just allows you to grow your own food where most of us either can't because of our thumbs or we don't have the space. And these days our soil isn't very good either. So there's a lot in water. We have a water shortage. I mean, this solves a lot of the water shortage problem because people can grow their own food with. It takes 90% less water to grow a tower garden. So I just got back from our convention, and there was a man there, and his name's Steve Ritz. And he's a teacher from the Bronx. And this guy had more energy than anybody I've ever met in my entire life, and also the biggest heart, besides Dottie's. And he basically has taken children in the Bronx, and he has turned them into gardeners. He's beautified the Bronx, which is just an unbelievably desolate area, by showing them how to plant gardens on walls, and now he's using the tower garden to educate children in schools. So I wanted to just take the first few minutes just to show you what Steve Ritz is doing, and maybe next year we can have him come talk at our garden meeting. He's just absolutely amazing. So if you would just press play on that, would be great.
Stephen Ritz, and I am CEO, Chief Eternal Optimist of Bronx County. We're going to actually grow our own lunch. We're going to grow our own food today. We're going to go from seed to plate.
A tower garden is like this plant, but you don't need soil. And then the water comes up, and then it comes down and rain on the roots.
Don't think you can't farm in the South Bronx. Tell it to these kids. They're farming. For so many, food is the problem. Yet for all of us, food is a solution. We have some of the highest rates of juvenile diabetes and juvenile obesity in the nation. And we can change that. We absolutely have the power to change schools in this generation. I think I still see the seed. That happened. You mean I can pass it around and they can see the seed in the plant? My job is to teach kids how we can grow food. And I'm asking everyone to roll up their sleeves and get a little dirty and grow something greater.
He lets us plant stuff like salad, cucumbers, tomatoes.
My 4th and 5th graders came into a classroom with no window to build a tower garden and literally turned it into a farm. And we talked about how healthy food builds healthy minds and healthy bodies, and where are we doing it? Right here in school. So did everybody plant the seed?
Yeah!
The excitement and the joy that these little kids feel putting a seed in the ground and watching it blossom. OMG, as they say. This is.
I think he cares about us a lot, and he wants us to learn and have fun at the same time.
I'm not a farmer, but I'm planting seeds.
he always says like seeds are like people because they need love and they grow and grow and grow to be successful people.
To use 21st century technology to generate food and to create this beautiful thing to sit by that we could actually eat is game changing. It's empowering. They're growing. The plants are growing and they're responsible for it. And when they know they can grow their own, they really start changing the way they see their relationship to the world and their place in it. Wait a moment, you're gonna eat it? Is it good? I love it, thank you.
So this guy he's getting a lot of recognition. He's winning awards for the change that he's making. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I'd love to do this over here, and I've sent him a message, so I'm hoping he'll respond and he'll come out and help us to duplicate something like that over here. Now Dottie's tower garden, just to show you what she has on it, and we actually, the first time we planted her garden, we used the seedling process like they showed there, where the kids were planting little seeds in a little tray of what we call rock wool, which is just a volcanic material. There's no nutrition, there's nothing in it. It's just a cushy place for the seed to grow. And once, it takes about 10 days, and then once they're about 2 inches tall, we just pop them in here. And what she did this time is we actually have resources where you can buy the seedlings already grown. So it's just a quicker way to get your food faster. So what we actually, she bought a couple that were already a little older, so that's why these are bigger. And then these ones were only a couple weeks old when we bought them. They're probably about 3 or 4 weeks old now. But she's got cilantro, spinach, romaine, more romaine, brine, lettuce, watermelon, tomatoes, cucumbers, more spinach, different kinds of lettuce. So it's nice because you could just have a variety of greens, kale, Swiss chard she has on the top here. It's fantastic for anybody that juices. So I wanted to just go over with you really quickly how it works. And let's see if I do this right. Okay, so here's the seedling tray. And this is how it comes with instructions. I'm always happy to help, but it's great for the kids because my kids never really grasped how food grew until they planted their own little seeds in here. You can plant whatever you want. The kit comes with a set, like cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, but you can go to any nursery and buy non-GMO organic seeds and just grow whatever you want. And they see the little seed sprout, and they see it grow, and then they see it go in there, and then they see it get bigger, and then they see their mom picking it to put in their smoothies and their, or saute, whatever you're going to do with it, make their salads. And it just really enlightens the children. And I think Dottie Sheridan this morning, she was picking off of it and eating right off of it. So when I came to pick up her tower garden. So it's really just a great way to educate them that life fuels life. I loved that you said that, Meryl. The maintenance is really easy on the tower gardens. I mean, your child really could do it if you taught them to do it, to check the water. Just every few days you want to look in the top and just make sure the water level's not too low. During the summertime with the heat and as your plants grow bigger, it's going to suck up water quicker. So during the summer, I probably add water, like half of that every 4 or 5 days. During the winter time, it's maybe once a month I might add water. And then you just check the pH level with this. They send you the kit, it comes with it, and you just test the water, make sure it's between 5 and 7 is where it should be. So it's pretty simple maintenance, and you just always want to make it. It does need a plug, it needs electricity so the motor runs. It really is about the energy of a light bulb. And the water just circulates through. There's no soil. It reduces disease and pests. So it's not no pests because there are airborne things that lay eggs and you might get a tomato worm or something, but you'll get used to what that looks like and you'll be able to prevent them from coming. But as far as in the ground, there's lots more bugs that come from the ground. So there's very limited bug action compared to a ground garden. So the water, we actually sell nutrients that come from the sea and the earth. The minerals come from the sea and the earth that are in a liquid form that you add to the water. So that's how they're getting fed, and they're doing studies now, side-by-side studies on gardens in the ground compared to gardens in the tower gardens. And the tower gardens beat it. I mean, they grow faster, they're richer, thicker, more nutritious food than a regular garden. Not to knock regular gardens, because it is, lots of people like to get dirty, like Dottie was saying, and it is from the earth. This is from the earth too. I mean, it's the earth-based nutrients, but it's just that it's so consistently fed, and there's a lot more variables when you're planting in the ground. It's water, climate, everything else, nutrient depleted soil, all those things are variables that can take a lot more effort to control. Where with the tower garden, it's being fed every 15 minutes on and off around the clock, 24/7. So that's why they grow so much faster and more consistently. And they also regenerate more often. So Dottie was saying she goes to her tower garden, and she'll you could see here where she broke off some of the kale, and they just keep growing. So this kale will probably last her about 6 months, and it'll keep regenerating more. So this stalk, do you see these stalks? They'll end up getting probably about that thick around, and you'll see like it keeps growing and more keeps sprouting and sprouting, and you'll see all the places where she was over time just picking off the kale. So it's great because it's not like you just have to cut the head off and it's done and you have to replant. I've got a tomato plant. Here's a tomato. I've got a tomato plant on mine that's still producing for me after a year. And I actually brought the tomatoes that I just picked yesterday. So feel free if you'd like to taste a tomato. I don't know if I have enough to go around, but that's fresh from one of my tower gardens. Okay, and then I wanted to show that this is an example of how fast a tower garden grows. It's a 4-week time lapse. So Dottie's, she just got hers a couple weeks ago, and that clearly was like the optimal situation, because some of it does depend on where you're at and things. But hers will grow in about 4 weeks. Hers is going to look a lot more like that tower garden. It'll look lush, like what's on the top will be like that all on her whole tower. So now these are going in everywhere. So I don't know, has anybody looked at the Home and Gardens, Better Home and Gardens magazine this month? There's a 4-page spread on tower gardening. And it's we're talking to the White House. Emerald's using them. Next month in Giant Stadium, they're going to be opening a plot of tower gardens in Giant Stadium that's going to be feeding all the produce of Giant Stadium. So as soon as that happens next month, everybody's just going to be, it's going to be a more common way to grow. And the inventor, his name's Tim Blank. I know him. He's just an amazing guy. It started at Disney World. So there's a Epcot Center tour called The Land, and it's all about agriculture and growth. And so the tower gardens have been in there for almost 20 years. So our company, which is called the Juice Plus Company, partnered with Tim Blank to bring these to the masses. So ever since the Juice Plus Company got involved, it's become more of a mass something that everyone can use. If you're a resident, if you're a restaurant, Joey actually pulled me aside and said, I want, this is perfect because I'm buying all this produce and I want to talk about having these tower gardens and growing our own. So you're going to start seeing them everywhere. So if you're not on the bandwagon now and you do want to grow your own food, non-GMO, organic, then talk to me. I'm the wellness coordinator for Dottie and Moms in Charge. And for every tower garden that's sold, $75 to $100 goes to the Moms in Charge nonprofit. So it's a really great way to get something that's going to support your family and also going to support a cause like Moms in Charge, which is just incredible. So thank you. If anybody has any questions.